Hey everyone, so I have a question for you. Did you maybe just have a baby? If so, congratulations! Also, are you homeschooling with a newborn? In today's video, I'm going to be covering my tips to make homeschooling with a newborn easier. So, tip number 1 and 2 have to do with before the baby is born. So before the baby is born, tip 1 is to plan school for 2 weeks. Tip number 2 is to prep school for 2 weeks. That way, when your baby is born, you already have school planned and prepped for 2 weeks. I normally plan once a week, so I doubled it to 2 weeks. But if you only plan once a month, you might not need to do that. Tip 3. Take 2 weeks off from school to let your family get used to the new member. Tip number 4, track your baby's schedule. So on a piece of paper, I wrote down every time my baby nursed. That way I would have a clear picture of the baby's feeding times. Tip number 5, plan around the feeding time log. So if you know your baby eats around 10 a.m. and that's when you do, say, math for your homeschool, you may need to switch it up and do something that requires you to be less hands-on with the children at that time. So plan around the baby's feeding schedule. Tip number 6, feed the baby while you are homeschooling. So if you are maybe reading a book during homeschool or doing something a little less hands-on, feed the baby during that time. Tip number 7, wear your baby. I wear the newborns in a Moby wrap, and this works incredibly well, and it even sometimes puts the baby to sleep. Tip number 8, include your baby. So during circle time, I include the baby in the circle. During schoolwork, I include him in the table area. So include your baby while you're homeschooling. Tip number 9, if you can get your baby to nap, that'll work very well for you. And last but not least, tip number 10 is don't sweat the small stuff. If you didn't get everything done you wanted to, or your schedule was off, or something like that, don't sweat it. This time with a newborn will pass, and there will be more of a regular schedule, and it'll get a lot easier as the baby gets a little bit older. That's all the tips I have for you today. I hope they helped you and gave you some ideas on how to make homeschooling with a newborn easier. Thanks for watching. Bye.